All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. We're a few minutes back, but hopefully you finished all the stuff that you were doing before you popped in here. Mark's here tonight. We were working on the limo earlier. We're going to have the limo back here in the shop soon, I promise, and we're going to get a bunch of stuff done on it as quick as we possibly can because we want to get that car running, driving, ready for spring, summer. What is spring in Florida? Is that like November?
Sure.
Yeah, we're from Ohio, so we're trying to figure this out. Like, there's kind of two seasons here. Really, really nice and pretty damn nice. There's no like
In between.
yeah, soul-crushing cold with disheartening wind, and then completely drenched for a month straight, and then 2 days of sunshine, like 48 hours, maybe 72 hours of sunshine, and then that's kind of all you get in Ohio. So we're acclimating to all of this stuff, and it's very odd. It's very odd for both of us. So we're trying to figure it out. But we need the limo running. That's going to be absolutely a ton of fun. So tonight, one of the other things we do down here is we ride motorcycles, and you can ride them year round, which is very nice, and that's very new to me as well. But you also, the more you ride, the more maintenance you have to do. So since I've been down here, I put over 1,000 miles on this thing, and definitely time for an oil change. So we're going to do an oil change on this motorcycle, and I'll give you a quick rundown on this because it's not your average motorcycle. It's a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. So this is a 2012 Honda NC700x. It says it right there, NC700 with a big X. And this motorcycle is actually a DCT. It is a dual clutch transmission. I'll show you, there's no shift lever. There's no clutch lever, and there's no shift lever on the other side. So this is a paddle shift motorcycle, which is kind of crazy, especially for 2012. And I didn't know these things existed. I knew what I wanted. I wanted a motorcycle that was upright. I didn't want hunched over like a crotch rocket. And I also didn't want to be hardly hogged, hoping that barb didn't fall off and watch out for the clip-ins and all that stuff. I didn't want that. So I got this. I found out later on about the DCT after I went and, test drove one. I was like, oh, wow, this is what I'm looking for. And then this one I bought actually had the DCT. I didn't know. It comes in two different. You can get regular shifting or you can get the DCT. NC stands for New Concept, and that's where this started with the upright. It's not a adventure tour like the Africa Twin, but it's not a sport tour like the other sport touring models where you're a little bit more hunched over. This one you sit upright. The other cool part that I loved about this was the luggage, and this is the OEM luggage. And I'll show you how this stuff works because it's very cool. It's all locked, and then this comes off, and it's like a briefcase. And you can ride the motorcycle like this without a huge frame on here. Most of the aftermarket stuff, you have a big frame that it mounts on. This is just a post and a lock right here, and it goes on like that. Goes on like that. And you use the same key that you use for the ignition. So that's how quick that is. It's the same thing with the trunk. So you have these little miniature suitcases. You disappear for the weekend. It's a really, really awesome motorcycle. Most of the time, I do run it in the automatic mode. There's two. There's standard and then sport. And I run it in the sport mode most of the time. But if there's a problem on the road and I want to put it behind me, I can go into manual mode here. And then on the left side, I have up and down for paddle shift. And it works great. It works just like a paddle shift car. So I didn't know this existed. And it's been an incredibly awesome motorcycle. I really like it. And very, very happy. The OEM luggage is very difficult to find. It took me about 3 years to find a nice match set. I got it from a motorcycle shop in Pennsylvania. They were awesome. And I got a hell of a deal on it too. So we're gonna do some maintenance. I'm gonna show you guys how to do the oil change on this because it's a little different with the DCT. And so we have a regular filter, and here's the filter number that I'm using on the motorcycle. This is not a Honda filter, it's a Wix filter. I use Wix filters on all my stuff, and this thing is so cute. Look at that. But if you want to get, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot, you have a mic over there. You guys want to see the cutest little oil filter you've ever seen in your life? Look at this thing. Is this adorable? This is the Pokemon of oil filters. Look at that. All right, let me find a reference. Okay, so here's a Rockstar can. That's probably not a good reference. That's how tiny that thing is. Oh, since I'm here. It is so cute. So cute. Very adorable. This is the filter actually for the DCT. And the other one is for the engine oil. The other thing you're going to need, 4 quarts, and I went with the OEM. So we got 4 quarts of this, the 1030 GN4. What do we got here? Hey, Southwest. You got hired for car detailing. Awesome. Hey, congrats, man. That's great. Make it shiny. It's always important. If it doesn't look good, it can't run good. I would say that's true, except I was at Daytona, and those cars after the race looked like hell, but they won. So I'm going to grab the camera. We're going to grab some supplies, some tools and stuff, and I'll bring you down here and you can see everything that I'm going to do. The DCT filter is right here. Oh, I thought he was Alan, but no. He's actually Hex. Okay.
Yep.
Our oil fill is here, but our drain, our main oil drain is obviously underneath. So let me grab some stuff and then I'll bring you guys underneath and you can see how we do everything. And it's going to be kind of painful because it's waiting for 4 quarts of oil to drain out.
You want to do the DCT first since it's not going to have much?
DCT second.
Okay.
So it doesn't have that much stuff in it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to go. That's me thinking out loud. I could be way off on that.
Okay.
So we have our new oil. Oh, funnel. I could probably be very careful and get it in there, but
yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. So I really hate these cabinets. I wish I had just a regular cabinet. So we've got a funnel and I guess a light.
No, you don't need that where we're going.
Well, where they're not going to be able to see stuff down here. So I'm just going to bring a light. Yeah, you should just, all right. This one, of course, the battery's dead. So this is all that prep that I do before going live. This is where it really pays off. All right, so I'm going to bring you guys down with me and we'll get on. Oh, the other thing, actually 2 other things. Since we're doing an oil change, wear clothes that you don't care if it gets oil on it. So like this hoodie, these pants, I don't care if I get oil on it. And some of you guys will yell at me for using bitch mittens, but I'm going to use bitch mittens for an oil change. Sorry. With all the hand modeling that I do, you got to be careful of these babies. So, all right, I'm going to swing you guys over. And first thing we'll do is drop you down. Now, I don't have a motorcycle lift or anything fancy like that. So that's why we're doing this super simple. Okay. And let me grab the camera, see if he'll reach. Okay. We have our new tripod here. The little octopus legs, he works a million times better than the other one. Oh, hey, that's actually a pretty decent view right there. So I'll go around to the other side now that we're set up. And Mark is cool enough to grab me the 12 mil. So the plug is actually, sorry you guys, it's on the opposite side right here. Straight back from here, this is where the plug is. So I'm gonna get him loose. And then I'll put the oil pan in the way. Okay, now he's just finger tight. And I'm doing this way because he's gonna shoot out at me. Don't forget, this oil is gravity fed. It is going to shoot out. Not like super far. It's not under pressure, but oh, wow. It's actually caramel.
I mean, it is like 40 degrees outside.
No, like it's in, the oil's actually in very good shape. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah.
We got a viewer from Pakistan.
It's actually, it's pretty clean. So that means the filter's been doing a very good job, and the other maintenance that I've done on it is actually paid off. So yeah, don't forget, it's going to shoot out probably, whatever. And then eventually when this stuff starts draining slower, it's going to leak backwards a little bit. So don't put it right at the edge. Give it a little room for static to pull it back a little bit. You can see it slowing down. And see how it's going to pull back a little bit? Yep. It's slowly going back that way. So the next fun part is going to be our oil filter, which is right up here. Some guys remove this protective cover, and you can if you really want to. It's 3 pieces. It's this one, and this black piece here. That's not racist. That's just what color it is. And then if you want to, you can do that. That kind of gives you a little bit better access, but I think I can get that oil filter. I think I can get enough gription on it. So we're going to let that drain for just a minute while I clean my hands up. I'm very happy with how this oil turned out. I thought it was going to be like obsidian black, It's actually very, very clean oil, which also is a good sign that this engine is running very well and that oil circulation system is working well. So I like it. I like it. Let's see what you guys are looking at. You guys can see everything. So yeah, you can see the filter up here. Oh, let's see who's here. Hey, watching from Pakistan. Are we doing it in the ride in the Viper? No, no rides in the Viper. It's under 50 degrees outside, and the Viper basically has no traction under 50 degrees. So yeah. The oil actually looks really good. I probably should have got it a little closer for you guys, but oh yeah, you can actually see it right there. It's pretty caramel colored, and I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. So bring it back here and change the angle a little bit. Whoop. Hey, whoa, he just wants to fall over. Hang on. There we go. Try and level you guys out so it's not such a weird angle. These are the little flexi leg tripods, so Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. No Viper rides for a little while. We've got to warm up here in Florida. Canada was kind enough to send us some of their homegrown weather. So we've been busy picking up iguanas that are falling out of the trees. And by the way, that is a real thing here. And actually, the National Weather Service has a falling iguana warning because some of the big iguanas, they're upwards of 15, 20 pounds. That thing lands on your head. That is not.
It's no bueno, Carlos.
Yeah, not good. So they actually have a warning for it. Right now, I'm just cleaning this drain plug. Our crush washer is actually in really good shape. So we're going to flip him. And also remember, when you're torquing these down, you are not holding a cat diesel engine together. You don't have to crank down on this stuff. A lot of people are getting breaker bars to tighten down oil drain plugs. Please don't. Just go with the manufacturer's torque spec. I don't know what it is on this. Can you look that up for me, Mark?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, but I think it's going to be somewhere like 15, maybe 12 foot-pounds. It's barely anything. So there's our drain plug. See, I can't see you guys. I have a motorcycle on the way. So there's our drain plug. He's happy and clean. Crush washer I flipped. So he'll crush when he goes back in on the other side. And he's still draining out a little bit. We're starting to get to the drip era. Pretty close.
Okay.
And then, since I'm here, I'm gonna see if I can get this guy loose. Just by hand. I might not have the leverage down here. I don't have the leverage. I can squeeze that filter in, but I don't have enough leverage to actually twist this thing. Yeah. I can almost get it. See, if I was really good, one of those fake shows, I would have already had this finger tight and then pretended like, and then just spin it off my hand. I'm so damn strong. Nope.
22 foot-pounds.
Yeah, 20 foot-pounds. Okay, yeah, it's barely anything, right?
Yeah.
So grab our strappy oil filter engine. Do I have what's the other? Oh, this guy works pretty good too. So which way does he go? Can never remember. Yeah, that way. So we've got this guy. Of course, he doesn't fit up there. He's too thick. There's not enough clearance here to get up there. Yeah, okay. So that's a bomb out. We'll try good old-fashioned strap wrench. And this is just a rubber strap. It goes tight here. Pull them tight. And then damn, I don't want to pull the motorcycle down on me. Can you hold the motorcycle while I do this? He is not coming loose. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Holy crap. Come on, buddy. He does not want to come out of there. I, of course, have the oil pan in the way. I just dented the oil filter. Come on. The bike keeps rotating. Come on, buddy. You want to come out of there, don't you? No? I don't have enough leverage because I have the oil pan in the way. So unfortunately, I have to move the oil pan when I'm locked on. I can't. So maybe now. All right. He's gonna hang on. He's gonna drip right there. Okay. This little guy's on there. I mean, I dented this filter. Mark's holding the top of the motorcycle. Come on, buddy. Get up there. There you go. Jesus, did he move at all?
Yeah, it looked like it moved a little bit.
Can you see it from up there?
Yeah, I'm looking at the screen.
Oh, you're watching the screen.
Yeah.
All right. Crap. Hang on.
The bike's moving. I'm trying to hold it straight.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how else to. Oh my God. And I can't look at it right now to see if it's moving. This thing's really on there. This is what happens when you get heat. Is it rotating or just flipping?
Slipping. Trying to balance on one knee and do this. Come on, get up there. Yeah, it's not moving.
Holy crap. You can see the dent in the filter here. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I can't really. Yeah, he's just denting the filter.
Okay. Who did the oil change last?
It was 1,000 miles ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just before I came down here. Nope. What else do I have?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm not even paying attention. Maybe give it some external motivation. We might have to do it the really messy way.
Screwdriver?
Yeah. But I don't have a lot of room to punch in that screwdriver.
Right.
Where'd the band go? Do I still have it here? Okay. Yeah, can you hold the bike again?
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, I'm going to try this once more. This part sucks. I thought for sure this would come right off. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, I won't preload anything or do anything off camera because I don't want anyone to think I'm bullshitting them. Oh my God. I'm going to snap this rubber strap. Got to do it the messy way.
Why don't you take that heat gun, see if you can put it on that oil filter. And
It's
see if...
warm.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So, what do we got? Something with a nice big lever.
There's pry bar down here, a little small pry bar.
Yeah.
So you don't bend a good screwdriver.
It's okay. I need something to puncture with. So yeah.
Oh,
Hopefully.
oh look
guy
at the
works.
little hammer.
Dude, I love these little hammers. By the way, you guys, if you have a shop, go get one of these little tiny guys from, yeah, this is way too long. These are from Harbor Freight, these little mini hammers. 90% of the stuff I do in the shop, that's what I use. Usually you don't need VFH for this stuff. There is no way to do this. I don't have any room to work with. So I'm gonna have to do like,
Use a small one to get it in, and then
yeah. I'm also doing this from the complete opposite side of the motorcycle. Okay, come back here, paper towel. And of course, I found this top of the stem. Crap. All right. Well, the good news is the rest of the oil is coming out.
that's good.
So get the oil out of the filter here. So we'll wait for that to go. Sorry, folks. This, of course, is not going to plan. Trying not to get oil everywhere. Just like trying to get pee out of a pool. So let that filter drain out. Yeah, how tall is that stem? The oil filter stem. Where's the oil filter? Oh, no, I hit the top edge. Okay. I might have to go in at an angle. All right, while that's draining out, we can take a Rockstar break. There's oil everywhere. Remember when I said put on clothes that you don't mind getting oil on? This is why. Yeah. Damn. It's like half a quart of oil in the, probably more, almost a quart of oil in that filter. Oh, the other thing, we didn't open the fill. It would flow a lot faster if we had air coming from the other side. And it's so funny, manufacturers can't do 3 quarts, 2 quarts, 6 quarts. They have to do it in 3.765 quarts. Why not just make the oil pan slightly bigger and it's 4 quarts all the way around? Oh, we got a ton of messages here. What do we got here? We usually change the oil and filter 7,000 kilometers, anywhere between 7 to 10. My friend has an NC700x. Cool. If you're in Pakistan, if you're in anywhere over in Europe with one of these, you've got a killer bike. This would be so fun to tour around Europe in. This thing, this would be great to tour around Europe in. Yeah. This is also why the guys removed this cover, is so they have better access to that oil filter. But I was hoping to get it with just the band wrench, but that is not working. So now we're gonna try, come down here. Of course it stops leaking and then it starts draining again as soon as I get down here. And I don't think it was on there with suction, right?
Shouldn't be.
Probably not. So we have nice airflow now all the way through the whole oiling system. So oil should all drain out here better, the main oil pan, and also drain out here. All right, so now he's sort of coming off. See, what sucks is that the threads are inside of this, like in the center here. So there's no way to heat them up or put acetone on them or try and help them release. What you have is you have a suction and you have a rubber seal here. And as the engine heats, it slowly gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and it works itself tighter. The filter works itself tighter onto the block. So or casing or whatever it is. So that's the problem. That's why it's really easy and you just do hand tight putting the filter on, because once it does a few heat cycles, it'll actually sink itself in and make itself really tight. So now we're on regular drip, I think. So we might move the oil pan and drip into some paper towel. See if we can get this damn filter off. And this is what you don't see in the other videos. You know, they'll obviously have a cut, right? They'll cut all this crap out. You won't ever see it. So I'm going to slide that guy into place. Of course, I'm holding the oil pan in the weirdest possible way. And yeah, you should stick to that now because you're covered in oil. Slide out of the way. Bring this guy over. Yeah, you can share. You guys can share over here, your friends. Oh, come on. Now he's so slippery, he doesn't want to go in that slot. Make it a little bit bigger. Oh, yeah. Now you want to just completely flow out of there. Okay. I'm doing this completely wrong. I'm on the total opposite side of the motorcycle from where I should be. So I'm trying to give you guys the cool view. So I'm going to have to come over there if I want to do this. And I might block you guys' view, and I apologize. But it's going to be the only way to get this thing in there. Because I'm literally doing everything blind on that side. Gotta move the. So yeah, I gotta move you guys. Apologize. I'll try and keep it all. I'll try and keep a shot of it. But I've got to be able to come in here. Where the hell? There he is. Oh, give me the damn hammer. I put the camera literally in the hammer shot. Okay. And we're out the other side. Yay! I don't know if you guys can see all that. So now we're leaking from a whole new spot. I'm just going to get oil everywhere. Sorry, you guys. I'm just going to let this drain out for a minute because otherwise I'm going to be getting oil all over me, you, the floor. I mean, it's already over the floor. By the way, we're going to do an ad for Tidy Cat soon. Not on purpose, but because we have to. So yeah, even though you drained all the oil out, you still have a ton in the oil filter. You can see it's still draining there. Yeah. All right, we're going to give this just a minute. This, of course, is the hardest part. You'll be stunned at how quickly the filter goes in. I'm just going to get a shop rag for my hands because they are continually going to be covered in oil. And we'll just use a rubber mallet again. Come on, that's awesome. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Are you serious? Jesus. Oh, the fun never stops, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think it's time to stop screwing around here. What do you think?
Sure.
God, that's just comical.
Sorry, I was setting teams up for tomorrow.
Did he come through? Why won't he go through? He won't go through on this stuff. Why won't he go through? That's pissing me off. By the way, this is a 1/4 inch punch. All right, well, filters in there. Okay, just needed a little help. Did you turn? Yay. Now the trick is getting this out before it gets too slippery to grab. Damn it. I thought I could get him. There we go. I've had that happen before where he's just completely covered in oil and then you can't grab him. And you're like, ah, crap. Okay. I still need a little help here. All right. Damn, that guy was on there. Okay. So there's going to be a bunch of oil that comes out of this. I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. So, God, what a chore. So there you guys go. You got all the bonuses. There's the regular wrench. There's the filter wrench. There's the rubber band wrench. There's trying to turn it by yourself wrench. And then there is the hardest way possible, which is what I just showed you. And I've actually seen guys use die grinders to take off oil filters that someone thought it would be cute to Loctite them on there. And in my book, that's how you get your teeth knocked in. If you do something like that, you deserve everything coming your way. Of course, why would that rip straight? Only in commercials. So get the rest of this stuff cleaned up a little. Because we're going to put the oil pan back under here and let that filter come out and drain itself. Okay. What a chore. And I broke a screwdriver. So put that in the F-it bucket. All right, back where we were 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago. And we'll just lightly unscrew the oil filter. There we go. Be careful because the metal that you just punched on the opposite side is very sharp. So it can cut you. And hey, there's almost no oil in there. We got it all out. So, oh, we got a bonus. Here is our problem. That O-ring is actually malformed really bad. This O-ring should be in the bottom of this filter right here. And he is just from heat, he's malformed really bad. And that's what was holding us up on here. We weren't only holding on the flat edge, we were also holding on the outside edge. So it's gripping here and it's gripping here. That's where our problems occurred. So the filter had a really, really kick-ass grip on the block there. So I'm gonna give that, I'm gonna change bitch mittens too, because I ripped my thumb on this one. Why is Hammond messaging me? Hammond, are you watching? Let's see.
Well, it shows 3 viewers. One of them's me. Because I'm trying to keep up with comments.
Okay, yeah. What do we got here? I got a bunch of texts here. While that's draining, I'm going to reply to them.
Your thing.
What do we got here? What is Hammond sending me? All right. Thought Hammond was watching, and he's like, "Hey, you don't need to use a 1/4 inch punch. You can just use." Okay.
So he was?
No, he wasn't.
Oh,
Something totally different. And all I asked is the Bentley done? I need the Bentley out of my shop badly. We need a new set of bitch mittens. And God, these guys all just crumple together. Thank you guys for being patient with all of that. And now you know how to do oil filters.
the painful way.
Yeah, that's the hard way. Probably the 3rd hardest way. I've seen them where people actually destroy the threads on the stem, and that's always terrible. No one likes that part. So let's get some cleanup going here. So I'm going to clean up. Once I lay down and look, and clean up the threads and everything else down here. Probably got a few drips of oil left. So the threads, I'll spin you guys around once I can see the shot that I'm setting up. Come, got it. Bring you guys right there-ish. That's pretty good. So the threads right here, these guys, you want to make sure there's no oil on them. And you want to make sure this whole section around here is all clean. And make sure your old O-ring isn't there. Ask me how I know. The Viper truck was going to Orlando the next day. I'm like, yeah, I should do an oil change on the truck. So I did an oil change, and the stupid gasket stayed on, and I did the oil change, put the oil in, new filter on, started the truck at a 500 horsepower oil sprinkler all over the shop. Just 9 quarts of oil. Sent it almost all out at once. I was like, what the hell's going on? Turned off my truck. You have got to be kidding me. There's so much cleanup. Anyway, make sure you can see on the new filter, here's the O-ring. So yeah. And my oil filters, I do little notes on them just so I know when, you know, what happened last oil change. Last oil change was 7.5 thousand miles. It was supposed to be on 2.1, but we're waiting for the DCT filter. And then my initials. So that way, if for some reason someone else does the oil change, they know who did it, they know the date, and they know the mileage. It's pretty simple. The downside on the Wix filter is that it's white. The other one's black. I like the black better, but I mean, I don't really care. This is a much better filter than the OEM Honda filter. So I will gladly be okay with that. The other thing you want to do when you put this new oil filter on is you want to put some oil on this ring. It really helps provide a nice seal. You can use the new oil or the old oil. It's not going into the system. It's just part of the seal. So since the old oil that came out was not, you know, chocolate chip cookie dough, we're just going to use some of the old oil. And my pan was super clean. And here, let me see if I can do this just from camera. I'm literally just going by feel. There it goes, I think. Yep. I can't see anything because I have this guard in the way. So our new oil filter is on. Again, the gloves are super slippery. So this just needs to be wrist tight. There you go, like hand tight. I'm actually going to use a rag to get a little bit of grip. I got a little more turn out of it. That's it. That's how tight the oil filter goes back on. That's it. There's nothing No tools. Don't use any tools to put that on or anything like that. Do not bother. So we're gonna put the drain plug back in, right back over here, and we'll get that torqued down, and then we'll come to this side, and up here we're gonna do the DCT filter, which is that cute little guy that everyone's been dying to see. I've been dying to see him too. I want to see the old one because the last time I did an oil change, I didn't replace the DCT filter. So let's move this just a little. We got 4 quarts in there now. So I'll move you guys over just a little bit more. Slide this kind of out of the way so you can see where I'm going on the casing down here. Make sure our screw's clean. Can't believe I broke that screwdriver. That's kind of funny. I guess it's not really funny. It could be funny, but it's not really. Now your oil, I'm just gonna wipe off this, our last few drips, a couple of threads in between, and then make sure our hand doesn't fit. Oh my God, really? All this stuff is made for little tiny Japanese hands. So again, we're just going to put this guy in by hand to stop him from leaking. We can give him a quick shot with the wrench. There you go, he's going to stop leaking. Now we're going to get the torque wrench. We're going to do him to 20 foot-pounds. I'm going to push this out of the way because we're going to use him for the DCT filter. But I'm going to torque this down. That way we're done with underneath the motorcycle. We can move the camera up. You guys get a better view. And I don't have to lay it on the concrete anymore. I'm definitely going to have to cat litter this before the limo comes in. So, okay. You said 22 foot-pounds? That seems heavy for this.
Oh, that's from the Honda manual.
Yeah, that's okay. We have our super nice digital torque wrench. And he set it 25. Whoops, come back here. No. What is it doing? Whoa, come back here. Newton meters, foot-pounds. Okay. Why won't it let me set him? What the hell? Why won't it let me set him? There we go. Because he was on program. He wasn't on manual.
Oh.
Whoa, too far. It's faster to dial a wrench than it is to actually do this. If they're doing digital ones, they should just have keypads, right?
Right.
Okay, eventually I got to 22 foot-pounds. Gosh. this digital torque wrench is nice because it can do hundredths of a pound. Pretty close. Oh, that's 20. Okay. Double check. Yep, that vibration is, that means we're good. We can power off. I don't know what that means. It will auto power off. So we're done with those. Where was it? 10 right there. That wrench, done. All right, now I can pull you guys out of here. We're done underneath. So I'm gonna bring you back up. I know the camera's not very stable, I apologize. And now we're gonna do the DCT filter. So, we'll save our box. We're gonna put our old oil filter in there. So I'll bring you guys in a little closer. This is, Mark was kind enough to give me a 8 mil. 2 8mm bolts right here. This cover comes off and there's a rubber gasket there, so be careful with it. And then our disgustingly cute, tiny little oil filter. Look at this guy. Look at him. All right. So here you go. Here's a comparison. That's a quarter drive wrench, and that's the oil filter. That's how cute this guy is. All right. I'm also curious how bad this looks. Now, also inside here, there's a spring on this end. There's a spring and a cap to keep the filter in place. So we have to be careful when we're taking it apart. We don't want that spring to go because it will. You apply enough pressure in anything, it'll become a spring. Okay, these guys are on super light. You could probably just use a nut driver on those. Again, you have heat cranking through here, so heat makes that stuff expand and those threads get real tight. So now, how do we get this cover off? Oh, right underneath here, there's a little ledge and you can pop the cover off. You can see we're leaking a little here. And, oh, he goes up underneath there? Okay. So there's our cover, which actually we probably should have taken this off. And here's our spring, which, okay. I'm gonna set all this stuff on the rag for now. And believe it or not, even after all that, we still have oil in there. So we don't have anything lower, do we? Can I trade you that stool for one of those chairs?
I'll just take your seat.
What's that?
I'll just take your seat.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to bring you guys a little bit closer. Oh, yeah, that's way better. Okay. Now you guys can see in here, correct? And you're sort of kind of in my way. Not in my way, really. So now, in order to get that guy off that little rubber seal, I'm going to have to get something to grab him. Because even though my nails, I haven't been to the manicurist in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to have to get Is he magnetic? Can you use a magnet?
I don't know.
And let's get a pick tool. Pick tool should probably work if I can get enough gription. Get some paper towels here. Cool. Yeah, I think I can flex this plastic up enough to hopefully get that filter out of them. We might have to take this bolt out. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Can I get a 6 mil Allen? Let's see if he's magnetic. He is certainly magnetic, but that magnet is not strong enough. So I'm wedging my pick tool in there. They're in the wrenches drawer.
No.
For metric. So here is our old filter, and he still has a ton of oil in him, and he is disgustingly cute. Who's here? Oh, hey, Liz.
I was looking for a socket.
Yeah, sorry. Down 2 from that.
That'd be a 4.
It might be a 4 or a 5.
Here's 5.
Yeah, it's a 5. If I need to take them off. I don't think I do. So there's our old filter. And here's our new filter. And once he stops dripping, I'll get a better comparison for you guys. So yeah, which one do you want to put in your vehicle? Of course you want to put the tiny little cute guy in. But yeah, that's old versus new. And this probably has 4,000 or 5,000 miles on him. Because like I said, I didn't know that he was there, so I didn't change him the last time I did an oil change. And I've only done one other oil change on this thing. So there we go. But again, the oil looks clean, just the filter looks really well used. And if he wasn't dripping, I could get him closer to you guys. So let me grab the paper towel here. So if he does drip, you can see that filter element is pretty dark. Another thing you can look at, and this is if you want to compare oil filters, I'll give you guys a little hint. Notice the pleat count. See how many more pleats are in the red? So let's say you have 50 pleats in this, you probably only have 20 pleats in this. The more pleats you have, the better the filtration. Now, you're going to have less flow usually, but K&N's pretty good about matching flow. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Again, I'm going to take some oil and put it around the base there. That just helps with the seal. Again, with this one, we have a spring right there that's pressing on it. So it's not threaded, but we also want to make sure that our seal is 100%. So I'm going to put this guy back in his recycle box. And then we can use the paper towel to clean this stuff out. And then when you're in here, just take your finger and there's an inlet right there. Just look for any sort of weirdness, any kind of sparkle, any kind of glitter, anything like that. Just look for anything, even if you're just wiping it down. You do not want it sparkly. Definitely don't want it sparkly. And clean up all the excess oil and stuff out of here that you can, and all the crap that you spilled on your cover. So this looks pretty damn clean. I'm also going to check my cover plate and make sure that that is spiffy clean as well. Where'd he go? He's over here. So you can see there's a O-ring gasket here. Make sure he's super clean, not torn, not worn. It's not necessary to replace him every time, but just make sure he is in really good condition, because otherwise you're going to have oil leak. Here's your seal on the top side. And then in the nooks and crannies here, you can get a Q-tip in there if you really want to, or sorry, a cotton swab, because nobody pays for advertising here. And you can get that stuff out. This guy only goes on one way, which is a good thing. So this kit from K&N, now the Honda kit comes with this O-ring, replacement O-ring here. The K&N kit does not come with that. So I'm just going to fit check this. He fits in there. Now the fun part is get this thing out of the way so we can get the filter in there. So we have to flex the cover a little bit. There we go. I'll just break that really quick. And then he presses in there. We have our retention spring, which goes back right there. And he's just gravity in there. And then this guy only goes on one way, but thin side to the top. So if you look at this, he has a thin portion here and a thicker at the bottom. So the thin portion goes up underneath the cover, and somehow keep that spring in the center. My God. Hang on. If I could see this, it'd make it a lot easier. But I can't see it. So I have to come down here. Oh, this is a huge pain. He should be in there. Everything is slippery now, of course, right? Okay. Yeah, so that's the way to do that. Pull that cover from the bottom. Flex him out a little. And then tuck this edge in while you get the plate flat. And he'll center up in there. While your gloves are incredibly slippery with 30 weight oil. So make sure he is centered. Yep. Of course, everything is crazy slippery now after that huge debacle with the filter. Okay. There it goes. Tight. Tight. So check torque on this. Click. Check torque on this one. Click. We're good. DCT filter replaced. All of our two filters are replaced. Our oil's drained out. Last thing we have to do is fill up the oil. Now this has a kind of a weird dipstick. It's sort of an on and off, which is odd. I don't know. So it says MGS and D, and then on this side, there's just two markings. So there's nothing really like, there's no real good markings on here. I don't know what MGS is. Is that magnesium? I don't know. So that's where we are. Get rid of this. So now we just have to fill it up. It'll take a minimum of 3 quarts, and then we'll add a little bit until we get past. We need to be just past that fill line, in between the middle line and the top. That's where we need to be. So filter, why would this one fit? Actually, does he fit? Does he thread in there? Oh, that's pretty awesome. That works. And like I said, we're using the OEM Honda 10W30 GN4 that is recommended for this engine by this manufacturer. It is more expensive than regular 10W30, but it has all the additives that Honda really likes. So in we go. This is the really sexy, really fun part where you're adding 3 quarts of oil, or in a Viper, 11 quarts of oil. Yeah, that's where people are like, oh yeah, that's so hot. Adding oil is where guys get subscribers. You know, if you're a female, all you have to do is walk around in sweatpants that are 4 sizes too big and you get 10 million subscribers. If you're a guy, all you have to do is add oil to an engine. That's the trick. That's the hack. If you're doing anything else, you're not doing it right. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding, because there's no way for guys to get subscribers. It doesn't work that way. So this oil is really expensive. You think I'm getting every dropout? You are absolutely correct. This shit ain't cheap. 1 down, 2 to go. Yummy. So the oil that came out of this was only slightly darker, which I'm pretty happy about. You guys want a fun oil fact, since we're sitting here putting oil in? My dad was actually friends with the guy who invented this bottle shape. Is that crazy? I wish he introduced me to him. He never introduced me to the guy. I don't remember his name. But my dad did a bunch of trips with him. They went to speaking engagements about crazy successful people. But yeah. Or it's actually, it's not this bottle. Well, I guess it is. It's the ones that have the vent in them in the backside here. So it's very similar to this. But yeah. For some reason, I want to say the guy's name is Peter, but I can't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. So we are on quart number 3. Look at that. It's probably like what, 2, 3 subscribers dumping some 1030 into an engine. Yeah, that's what guys like. Fresh oil. Yeah. I mean, this is basically like 38 double Fs. Mark's over there like, Kevin, you're special.
I'm not saying a damn word.
I know you're special. Yeah.
Just keep my comments to myself. I don't want you to get demonetized or anything.
Yeah, that's demonetized? Dude, I'm not even monetized. YouTube throws up ads like every 30 seconds on my stuff. They don't give a shit on my stuff.
That's why I pay for the premium.
Yeah, they don't, yeah. YouTube doesn't know I'm here. Trust me.
You never know. One day you might.
Yeah, they'll be like, hey, wow, that guy's actually legit. And he doesn't screw around. He's not scamming anyone. He doesn't lie to people.
Then you got me in the background cussing at you, and you get demonetized right off the rip.
No, I think you get 3 F-bombs per, I think you get 3 F-bombs per stream.
Oh,
something like that.
okay.
So yeah, I've had some slip out, but
Well, I think we all have.
yeah. Wasn't there was some guy who just had like bikini models in the background while he was doing like woodworking stuff, and they were just walking back and forth. They weren't doing anything. He was actually building the birdhouse or whatever the hell he was building, but there were like 3 or 4 girls just walking around in the background in his shop.
Okay.
Scantily clad in like
I mean,
lingerie.
we do live in Florida. I'm sure we can find a couple.
Yeah, but that's, to me, that's not legit. That's not, I don't know.
You want viewers and subscribers?
No, yeah, but I want to do it.
Bikinis.
I want to do it the correct way. I honestly don't think bikinis is the correct way.
And what is the correct way?
Trying to be professional, trying to be legitimate.
Okay, well,
Trying
then we
not
can just
to
have them
scam
walk down the
people.
street.
Bullshit people. I don't know why bullshit is so, like, everyone loves it. They're like, oh, bullshit me, lie to me, scam me, use me. I don't know why that's like,
You done with this?
everyone jumps up and down with it. Yes. They're like, oh yeah, that's way better. We're going to do a half a quart of this. So we're going to do 3.5.
Calls for 3.4, I believe.
Yeah. So, but we have empty filters. So I'm going to go a spring smidge more. This has such odd numbers. 800, 624. It's like, what? 200.
Let's put 3.5 in it and call it a day.
Yeah. Really close. By the way, as a pro tip, your garage floor is probably incredibly flat. Not perfectly flat, unless you paid for it, but it's incredibly flat. So if you're looking to level stuff or measure stuff, if you get caught in a bind and you have to level ahead or whatever, you can probably use your garage floor if it's a finished floor and sealed and stuff. So when I'm checking the level on this bottle, I can just set it down on the ground, and that's probably going to be pretty level. And we're halfway through that quart. So now we can unthread our guy here and actually use this. He's not really threaded in there. Did he thread him? Yeah, I got some threads in there. And we can put our dipstick back in. And just for grins, we'll check with the dipstick right now. Now, guys were saying just put the dipstick in, don't thread it in. You know, just set it there and that'll give you your oil reading. I don't know how true that is. And we are right, if we thread it all the way in, we are right at the top of the fill mark. So if we don't thread it in, we're about halfway up the OK mark. So we're going to give this a start. And now we're sealed up. And we're just going to double check everything. We have a new filter in here. We have a new filter here. We have our drain plug back in. We have oil in it. So we're going to pull back. And once my legs start working again, because I've been crouched down for so damn long, I'm going to pull this up while I have it here. And we can come back a little bit. That would have been a cool move if I wasn't standing in the middle of the shot. So, key on, kill switch off. We are in neutral. Parking brake is on. This motorcycle has a parking brake. And just going to give it a minute. Cycle through there. Clean up some stuff. I need to wipe all this down.
Huh?
I need to wipe all the tools down. They're all covered in oil. That goes there. Yeah, did you see that ring? See how it's malformed?
Yeah.
So he was grabbing on two edges versus just one. That's why it was so damn hard to get off of there. Okay. That should be pretty good. Maybe. Oh. He's a little rich, eh? So if we take the parking brake off, we can put him in drive. And then we can put him in sport mode. We can put him in manual. I should actually do this from the other side. And then oh, he actually doesn't have enough speed to go into the next gear. Okay. That's funny. Yeah, he doesn't have enough speed to go into the next gear. So we're good there. Cool. We'll give it a minute and then we'll check oil level again and that'll be the end of it. Put that guy right there. And bring you guys back up to normal level instead of hanging out on the ground where I just was.
I can have my seat back.
Yeah, and Mark can get the rolly stool back. So, okay. And Yeah, so last thing we'll do is we'll check the oil level there. Bring you guys back here a little bit. Get a little better shot. I can do some of that. Now normally I mark the oil to what it goes to, but this is what it goes to. So those tools I need to wipe down. So while we're letting the oil settle, put all the tools away. Actually, I think this rag isn't going to work. We have a leftover paper towel here, which will actually work pretty well. And I'll just throw on the ground. All right. Somehow I needed 3 hammers to take off an oil filter. Actually smell some burning oil, which is probably stuff that dripped down off the side of the case, either at the oil pan or at the DCT. But that's okay. I am fine with that. Oh, punch can go in that same drawer. By the way, a nice set of punches, always a good thing. Yeah, use a smaller screwdriver for a pilot hole, and then you use the bigger screwdriver for the not so pilot hole. I can't believe I broke one of the screwdrivers. Actually, I can. Done with these guys. I'm going to keep the oil filter there, or the funnel there, because we're going to need it for filling up if we have to fill anything up. 8 mil is done. Allen's done. And we're done with bitch mittens. All the stuff I'm going to do from here on out can be just hands. So let's check this guy quick. Oh, we've got a little condensation. That's water. That's just condensation from the exhaust. That is not a huge deal. But the other good part, no leaks down here. That's why I always clean up when I'm doing stuff, so that if there are leaks, I'll be able to see them really quick. So let's test this 2 different ways. We set it in there, no threads, and take a look at the level. And he is under that middle mark. Double check that. Yeah, he's just under that middle mark. Now, if I thread him all the way in and then bring him out, he should be right at that middle mark. Yep. So we do need to add a little bit, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. Put the oil away too soon.
Uh-oh.
But also those filters suck up a little bit of the oil. So we'll add another 1/4 quart. A little bit more. Let's bring smidge more. And yeah, just a touch. Another shot glass. Another shot glass. There we go. We're going to save that. So that's about 3.75 quarts. There's a bunch of crap on the edge here. Yeah. Try and get that shit out of there. This is at an angle, so it all collects at the bottom. But try and get it out of there. That O-ring does a good job. So now let's check the level with just setting it in there and pulling it back. And yeah, try that again. Yeah, we're almost touching that middle line. I'll try looking at it from this side, maybe. So yeah, we're almost touching that middle line. It might take a full 4 chords. So we'll thread this in, check the measurement. Also, it does take a little while for that stuff to drain back in. Although new oil drains back to the crankcase. Yeah, we're just after the middle tab. So we're good on oil. So what I'll do is I'll probably ride this a couple of times. And we're closed back there. I'll probably ride it a couple of times and then check the oil level again. And refill if necessary, whatever. I still have a little bit left over. So we will check it. But we have a very happy motorcycle. It should run a little bit cooler. It should definitely shift better. It shifts fine currently, but I'm sure it would be happier shifting with all the new oil in it. So that's it. That is the oil change on this. You guys want to see another cool trick this motorcycle does? You ready? Check this out. Since we're all done with everything, I'll show you another cool trick on this thing. So, gas tank? Oh, no. That's where you put your helmet. This is actually a frunk, and the battery's up front, and this is actually, you can see how deep with my arm there. This is where you put your helmet. Where the hell's the gas tank? It's back here. No, it's kind of hard for you guys to see. Gas tank's back here. Let me spin this. So here's our gas tank. It's slightly smaller in size than it could be, but it's over the rear wheels, which helps with balance and everything else. It's actually very smart. That's why they, part of the reason they call this the NC, the new concept, is because they were doing stuff like this. Hey, Kevin, that's weird. This seat doesn't match this seat. That's because this is an aftermarket seat. It's supposed to be a lot softer, but if I ever found an OEM seat, I would probably put it back on. This seat is not thrilling. It came with the motorcycle, so I can't really complain. But yeah, that's one of the cool features is you don't have to carry your helmet around with you. When you go to the grocery store, you can actually lock it in your motorcycle. Pretty cool, right? So that's it for oil change on this guy. I'm gonna raise you guys up a little bit more too, so I'm not hunched down looking at you. So that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I did not enjoy it. Breaking a screwdriver and making a huge mess is not my idea of a good time, but that's part of the deal with doing maintenance on these things. That also shows you the difference between like the stuff that I do here on YouTube versus the other stuff that you're seeing on shows where stuff is edited out. Like 99% of the stuff you're going to see, they're going to edit out that part where the oil filter didn't come off, where I struggled. I tried 3 different wrenches, punched a hole, broke the screwdriver, used a 1/4-inch drive punch to get it out. They're going to cut all that shit out. That's the difference. So people want to see it. People don't want to see it. That's fine. I just want to show you guys real life. I want to show you what really actually happens. It's not bullshit. It's not, I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to bullshit you or stash anything. This is how it really works. Sometimes those filters are really, really, really on there, and it takes a lot to get them off. So it'd be nice to have all that stuff, ready to go, and it just spins off freely. And we eventually get to that point. The more maintenance we do, the more regular maintenance we do, it does make it a lot easier to do stuff like that. Also, the more times we practice, the better we get at it. So, like with doing that DCT cover, the next time I do it, I know to put that thing in first, and then the spring, I know to do that. So there's little things that we learn every time we're doing this that, we get better at it. And hopefully the next time we come and do it, that oil filter spins right off, or, whatever it is. So that's why I leave everything in there. Real-time shop learning, no BS. Correct. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not trying to hide anything from you guys. I don't do shit like that. It's not my thing. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you picked up some tricks. Sometimes people get stuck and they're like, hey, how the hell, the guy on the TV show, he just spun the oil filter right off with his right hand. How come I can't do that? Now you know why. There's stuff that happens, and sometimes you do have to choose violence. We don't want to, but that's how it works. So I'm glad you guys like this. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this stuff. I know this is a motorcycle one today, and we do like to stick to the car stuff, but I enjoy riding, and I enjoy riding this. I enjoy riding my Grom. So I wanted to get some stuff in there for our motorcycle friends, and also because this motorcycle is pretty rare, I don't know, rare, uncommon, whatever you want to say. There's not a ton of stuff out there about this. So I wanted to get some of the information out there, especially like about the storage, the luggage, the paddle shift. You don't usually see that on motorcycle stuff. So got some of that out for you guys, for all of you motorcycle folks. Honda does still make this, I believe. It's the NC750 now. The 700 is just fine. It actually works really, really great. And here's another fun one for you guys. Check out the angle of the engine. It's at 62 degrees versus the normal like 31 degrees or whatever. And then it's really funny, the engineer, when they came out with this, the engineer joking, the Japanese guy was joking that it was half of a Honda Fit engine. Stuck. Everybody used that as a reference for how big the engine is. Half of a Honda Fit engine. It isn't. he was just sort of joking around because it's only 2 cylinders, and so that, but it's stuck, and he got in a lot of trouble for that. So it's not half of a Honda Fit engine, but it's about the same size as a Honda Fit engine, about half of it. So plenty of power. This motorcycle will do 120 miles an hour, no problem. But I don't need that. I need 75, 80. If you're in Florida, you might need 100 miles an hour, but it's pretty cool. I really like the design on this. I like, the paddle shift, all that other stuff is really cool. So try not to do too much motorcycle stuff. We really do stick to the car stuff here. And so we'll be doing a lot more car stuff. We're going to get the limo back in here. We're going to do a bunch of wiring on the limo. And we're going to get it, Mark's here. He's going to go through a bunch of the Holley stuff with us and show us how to like super tweak the Holley, maximum horsepower, maximum MPG, all of that stuff. So we're going to do a lot more stuff with the limo, but it's also going to be a lot more with the Holley EFI system. So get ready for that. That is coming up, and we'll be doing that this weekend. We're supposed to have rain, what, Friday?
Thursday.
Thursday, we're supposed to have rain. So hopefully we can get the limo in before the rain. Otherwise, we'll have it here for the weekend, and we'll do a bunch of stuff with the Holley EFI on the weekend just to get that thing super tweaked. Mark's messed with them way more than I have. So I'm happy to have him here and show us how to do all of that. We got 5,000 menus in there, and he knows how to rip through them. So we'll get a bunch more car stuff in here. So I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. I know it's a school night, and that's awesome. And if you have any questions, comments, whatever, definitely put them down there. Shoot me a message. I'm super easy to get in touch with. It's not that hard. And I'm happy to answer your questions there. If there is a car or a vehicle or something you want to see in here, let me know too. I'll talk with friends from around the area. We'll see if we can get that car in here. If there's something specific you want to see on a car, electrical system, carburetor, suspension, drive shaft, whatever, let me know, and I'll try and do a special, really focused live stream on that particular subject. So I'm happy to do that too. And I think that's about it. We're in pretty good shape here. If it would warm up a little, I know it's been stupid cold in the rest of the country, and here in Florida, we're gonna bitch about, oh, it's 40, what is it, 46? 44 degrees outside. Oh my God, how are we alive? Yeah, I know that it's below zero in Iowa, so I get it.
Okay, so high today, 67, 75% chance of rain Thursday, and 60, 58 Friday, then 67 Saturday, then it goes up from there into the mid-70s.
So we have a little cold front coming through for a day and a half, and then
back into the 70s, where
back into the 70s
glorious.
and 80s. So yeah, we'll be back warm here. I won't have to have a hoodie on.
I'll be back in shorts where I belong.
What else we got here? I think that's it for messages. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed this. I'm going to move the motorcycle and get some cat litter down and soak up that extra oil. So we will catch you guys later this week with the limo, with the Holley. And I really appreciate all the new subscribers, you guys doing all this. Like I said, I don't get paid a dime for this. So I appreciate you hanging out. Don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them. I just wanted Mark to finish yawning. But it's far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. We will see you soon. All right. Have a great day.
See ya.
Or night, or whatever time of the... Time's just a fictional construct, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.